Welcome back to the video series as we continue to explore the many aspects of a BIA and what you will need to know to be an effective board member. In this video, we will be taking a closer look at the organizational structure of a BIA, detailing the roles and their responsibilities, and what policies are key in ensuring the proper management and the sustainability of the BIA. This will include planning tools, recruitment cycles and orientation, administration and human resources policies, and the drawing up of strategic plans. A BIA operates best when the board hires and supports effective employees. When board members and staff work collaboratively, this supportive culture flows directly into the effectiveness of the BIA's activities. Because the board is made up of volunteers, the board will typically hire an executive director who will, in turn, hire staff based on the needs of the organization. The executive director is an essential player. They are the lead operational resource of the BIA. The board communicates its directives and policies to the other staff through the executive director, who understands strategically how to distribute the work. The board and committee meetings are usually the place for the board and executive director to communicate, share information, and prioritize work related to the organization. When it comes to the executive director, it is the responsibility of the board to develop the executive director job description, including areas of authority, a summary of responsibilities, and the communication and reporting protocols between the board and the executive director. Interview, hire, and provide training opportunities for the executive director. Generate and authorize an employment agreement between the organization and executive director, outlining terms and following, at a minimum, Ontario's Employment Standards Act. And finally, conduct evaluation and performance appraisals of the executive director on a regular basis. Each BIA Board of Management has defined leadership roles to help ensure the smooth operation of the BIA in partnership with the executive director. Though there are exceptions, generally a board will have the following roles: the chair and vice chair of the board, who support each other and are the leaders of the organization and of the board. Often the chair, as the figurehead, is responsible for overseeing media communications and messaging. The chair and the vice chair ensure meetings run smoothly and follow the rules of order. They supervise the affairs of the BIA, sign bylaws, and participate on BIA committees as required. The treasurer oversees the financial records of the BIA, assists in the preparation of financial statements, and ensures compliance with financial requirements stipulated in the BIA governance bylaw of the City of Ottawa. They are also responsible for making sure that the organization draws up a viable budget and stays on track financially throughout the year. The secretary performs duties related to record management, internal BIA communications, and most importantly, ensures that the decisions made at meetings are recorded properly in the minutes and distributed among its members. What is the development cycle of a board of management? Each year, it is important that the board maintain a rhythm of recruiting and nominating new board members, holding elections, providing ongoing support and recognition, providing board orientation and training, and overseeing and implementing board succession planning. The recruiting process should be ongoing and is time spent in consideration of what skills and qualities you are seeking in an individual to help govern your BIA equitably. Orientation occurs when a new member joins the board and may take the form of a meeting or workshop accompanied by a manual or guidebook. The board can support new members through mentorship and by demonstrating how the skills and knowledge of existing members are acknowledged and valued. It is important for BIAs to prioritize succession planning. This is a key form of risk management that allows for a smooth transition if there is a change in staff, including the executive director, or in board leadership. succession planning should be incorporated into the 3 to 5 year strategic plan of the BIA and managed jointly by the board and executive director. Each BIA must designate at least one non-voting director position on its board of management for a city councillor. The councillor is the BIA's direct link to the city council and may do the following: facilitate joint planning initiatives between city council and the board, ensure council is updated on BIA activities and the board informed of council matters, and strengthen communications between BIA management and senior city staff, as well as other local business leaders. The BIA board also has the responsibility to maintain, update, and implement administration policies. These policies and procedures are critical in that they act as an instruction manual for how an organization and its board and staff should maintain and follow its governance structure, governing documents, and regulations. Each policy should be accompanied by a procedure. Together, these documents direct the board and staff through making decisions and working within certain limitations. In order to keep them current, the BIA should conduct a thorough review of policies every 2 to 3 years and monitor regularly for legislative policy to ensure compliance with any new requirements. Each BIA should have the following policies: a human resource policy, which offers formal procedure for equal opportunity and employment practices. Further items may address performance management, hiring and termination, vacation, hours of work, leave of absence, statutory holidays, other leaves, as well as many others. A communications policy, which outlines procedures for the BIA in managing effective and transparent communication with the community and BIA membership. The policy should also consider relationships with the media and policies related to social media posting interactions. Financial policies and procedures, which outline rules for compliance with the annual report and budget regulations under the City of Ottawa Governance Bylaw. They also govern the auditing process and other provincial reporting requirements. A procurement policy, which is a tool that grants approval to the executive director to expend funds on behalf of the BIA. It also covers accompanying procedures concerning spending restrictions and a contract bid and awarding process. Finally, it is best practice to keep refreshing and testing your organization's strategic plan. The plan looks ahead to the next 2 to 5 years, providing direction for the BIA, evaluating its programs and services, expanding or modifying the roles of committees, and monitoring the efficacy of the governance structure. Strategic planning is a critical role for the board, as it involves making vision-based decisions and taking appropriate action to avoid pitfalls and ensure sustainability. Conversely, the operating plan lays out activities required to fulfill the BIA's mission and objectives. It should align strategic objectives with detailed activities that staff can implement to achieve the desired outcomes. It should detail the who, how, and when of each program or activity, and include monitoring and evaluation criteria to validate the efficacy of these programs and activities. This concludes the third section of the onboarding guide. In the next and final video, we will explore some helpful tools and tips for how to run an effective meeting.